Hello everyone. So we will start off with, you know, how to use AI in our day-to-day tasks as a software engineer. So first of all, it's about using the AI models, AI tools. ठीक है, कौन से AI models and tools यूज़ करने हैं और ज़्यादातर पेड होते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन मैं यूज़ करता हूँ फ्री वाले बिकॉज मेरे पास फ्री के सारे अल्टरनेटिव्स हैं। तो सबसे पहले ओपन कोड आता है, ठीक है। ओपन कोड आपका बिजनेस आपके कंपनी के रिक्वायरमेंट्स के अकॉर्डिंग आपके 50 to 100 रिक्वेस्ट जो होते हैं वो आपके हो जाते हैं। इसमें 3-4 मॉडल होते हैं और वो सबसे बढ़िया होते हैं, टॉप क्लास हैं, तो दे आर द बेस्ट वंस। यू जस्ट हैव टू रन दिस कमांड, यू रन दिस कमांड एंड इंस्टॉल इट। उसके बाद यू गो टू योर VS कोड, open an empty folder or maybe a project, and then open the terminal. Okay, you open the terminal and then you just type open code, and with this it will open the section of the open code, ठीक है। उसके बाद you can you will be, you know you have to use it. It has different things. For example, if you run the slash command, you will get a lot of things: agent, editor, MCPs, right? Skills. We will talk about this one by one. But first, you must understand that there are two different modes in this AI uh, command line interface tool, and there can be more modes as well. For example, I have more modes, but by default you have two, right? Which is build and plan. So the build one means that उसके पास सारा एक्सेस होगा पूरे टर्मिनल का, पूरे कंप्यूटर का, सीपीयू का। सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल कि उसको क्या बोलना क्या नहीं। अगर हमने गलती से बोल दिया डिलीट एवरीथिंग, सच में डिलीट कर देगा सब कुछ, पूरा का पूरा कंप्यूटर डिलीट कर देगा। तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा ध्यान से। और प्लान मोड होता है वो एकदम सेफ होता है। प्लान मोड में कुछ भी बोलो, कुछ भी अनाम शनाम बोल सकते हो, कुछ भी कर सकते हो, कुछ कुछ नहीं करेगा वो, ठीक है। वो फाइल, एक भी फाइल को हाथ नहीं लगाएगा। इसीलिए ऐसा होता है कि जब फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा रॉ थॉट है, हमें कुछ सोचना है, समझना है, तो उस टाइम पे हम प्लान मोड यूज़ कर सकते हैं, जिससे वी कैन प्लान आउट ए प्रोजेक्ट और वी कैन आस्क हिम टू स्कैन। सो दैट मीन्स the open code has a read access of all the files, not the write access. but build tool में उसके पास write access होगा, तो write access की मदद से वो he can also read and write and do all of those things. So whenever you're starting off with the project, first try to build it, ठीक है। हमने ऑलरेडी किया हुआ है थोड़ा सा। वी कैन गो इन टू द हिस्ट्री एज वेल। हिस्ट्री के लिए यू जस्ट हैव टू गो एंड just go to the sessions. You go to the sessions, you can switch the past one, and then you will have, I mean, you can just start off where you left, ठीक है। तो जनरली आप ऐसा प्रॉम्प्ट लिख सकते हो। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपको एक लॉगिन पेज बनाना है तो यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन टू बिल्ड अ लॉजिक पेज एंड यू initialize the folder and take, you can also give some reference from component libraries and all those things। मैं आपको बता दूंगा कि एक अच्छी वेबसाइट के लिए कंपोनेंट लाइब्रेरीज कौन कौन से होते हैं जो रेफ़र करने चाहिए, ठीक है। लेकिन ज़्यादातर क्या होगा, जो उससे ऐसे बोलोगे करने के लिए और ये इफ़ यू मोर नोटिस हेयर, ये हमने प्लान मोड में चलाया था, ठीक है। ऑरेंज कलर प्लान मोड होता है। उसने थिंकिंग करी, जो डीप सीक मॉडल में भी थिंकिंग करते हैं, और उसके बाद उसने ये मॉडल चलाया है और उसने क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे हैं और क्वेश्चंस में उससे सेलेक्ट किया, क्योंकि हर एक चीज़ मैंने स्पेसिफाई नहीं की थी, हर एक चीज़ मैंने स्पेसिफाई नहीं की थी, इसलिए उसने मुझसे क्वेश्चंस पूछे, उसके बेसिस पे उसने किया है, ठीक है। और उसके बाद उसने बिल्ड कर दिया चीज़ें। और उसके बाद अगर मुझसे पूछ रहा हूँ ऑथेंटिकेशन कैसे लगानी है, चीज़ें कैसे करनी है, तो ऑथेंटिकेशन के लिए ऑब्वियस सी बात है, ही डजंट नो एवरीथिंग, सो यू हैव टू डू रिसर्च योरसेल्फ, यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट थिंग्स एंड यू हैव टू लर्न। बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू लर्निंग, today things have changed. You don't learn by reading the documentation. You cannot learn like all of the options very quickly and then start off with implementing and knowing that okay, this is the best authentication system I have. But actually you can ask AI, you can iterate with AI, and you can think, you can implement different things, and you can learn along the way. And because it will anyways ask you for options, and then you will have to decide. After all, you are the decider, you are the oscillator, he is just a machine, right? And if you ask the machine to do everything for you, machine will take the worst destructive decisions ever. So always take the command and take decisions for yourself. Okay, that is all we have to do. Taking the right decision, understanding it, and then giving it uh, the right prompt to implement that decision, right? For example, if you want to solve a problem, you can just write it here. You can just write a prompt. If you want to build a resume builder or anything, you can just write it and it will work. Okay, but it will be a struggle for starting, right? 3 times, 4 times, and after that you will be comfortable in building it because everybody is using it. If you don't use it, you will be left behind. So it's normal to go through that. Another feature we have apart from this is an MCP tool and skills. Okay, so what are MCP tools? MCP tools, if you just go and find it here, there are a lot of MCP tools, which means every company, every server has built their own MCP tools for you and anyone to make it easy for to learn and go through all of this. For example, if I go with a basic, right, MCP understanding, what is an MCP? It's a model context protocol. It has this your AI applications where we are using the open code right now, and then here is this different systems, development tools, databases, production tools, and there is this bridge to connect both of those things. So in the internet, the bridge is the APIs, REST APIs, the web interface, right, the HTTP request. But in the world of MCP protocols, MCP is the main oscillator, which is trying to connect two things like in USB port with a bidirectional data flow. How it does it? So internally, MCP is nothing but just code, a simple code with Python functions, all sort of things. Just like how, for example, imagine how an language Java was built. Java or Python was built. Python is a good example. Python language in itself was built on the basis of C language, right? So it is built on top of C language. So it has abstracted a lot of things of C language to make it easy for you to do the same things that you could also do with C language, right? In a similar way, MCP is doing the same thing. You can directly use these tools with AI, right? But it is extremely complex, right? You will have to find a way to interact, to make that AI interact with your softwares and tools yourself, maybe through API calls, internet network, right? Or maybe terminal commands. MCP makes it easy for you, right? So you just run a function has different parameters, and it will act and try to uh, execute the low level softwares and codes like a wrapper, abstracting it. So every function with the parameters will have a lot of markdown file content, instructions, rules, regulation that the AI will automatically know. So AI knows what how are MCPs and how to use them. So similarly, even if you go to any of the MCPs, if you go Blender MCP, it is able to generate the 3D models directly using AI. You just have to install it. Okay, so you can see that what it can do here. uh, so like this, okay, if we go to this Atlassian MCP server, right, so you can see the content, one click setup, right, with this models VS code, right, and here you can give different permissions. You always MCP will not run directly. You have to give API keys and everything. You just have to add it. API key will add it in JSON file and all sort of things. But the MCP will can only be used using your tools, using your CLI tools such as OpenCode. Okay. So how to use this tool? You just go here and in your VS Code, just write the OpenCode JSON file, and in that file, what you just do is you create a schema. Okay, this schema is followed by, if you go to the docs of the open code, and you will find here in configuration. So this is the schema, MCP Jira, right? To give you a better example, I will just search Jira GitHub MCP, and I will find an MCP tool for Jira which has defined a, right, how to add and authenticate and do things. I think I will also add open code, so you will get it for open code. So I got this one. Okay, I will open it and I will find the one open code. You found it, right? So you just have to copy this and paste it into your project's opencode.json, and then you have to give the right environment. This is the most important thing, the environment key, which is your API key, in order to make any software, any MCP work. You keep extending it. This is one record, right, of MCP. You just keep extending it with another here, right, and it will work, okay, beautifully. Right now, like, I have a global file, and I have so many, right? GitHub MCP is the most important one. So let's start off with adding that MCP. Okay, it is not tough, it is easy. Just ask ChatGPT AI and say anyone and you will be able to get it. Another thing is models. So what are the different kind of models? I use generally open codes, big pickle model, which is good, but the most popular and I mean the newer ones that are coming, which is cheaper and has a lot of messages requests, is a DeepSeek model, right? If you DeepSeek model, and this is pretty good. um, Apart from this, these two models do not support image. Not all those models support image, so if you have an image here it cannot read it, right? Some models like Mimo code 2.5 free, it can read the images right from the terminal. How it will be able to read any file or image? If you can just use the address and you can mention it. I can just write and I can mention, for example, the app.jsx, or I can mention index.html, and then I can write anything and then I can press enter. Okay. Apart from this, you can do a lot of things, and the context limit depends on the AI model. Generally, it has this this big pickle model has 200,000 tokens, right? And DeepSeek model has 1 million tokens, which really exhaust, right? But if it does, just hit the compact session command. Okay, and you can also hit the review changes command. So these commands are something to be exploring yourself. Okay, so another thing which is interesting is the skills. Okay, so MCP you understood, right? One thing I wanted to make you see, like GitHub MCP, right? What it can do, right? So that is what I wanted to show you. Yes, this is it, what it can do. Available toolset, you will have to find this for every MCP tool and understand it what it can do. And GitHub MCP is the most powerful one because it can do a lot of things, right? It has the GitHub API, so it can search any GitHub repository, right? It can run the Copilot tools, code quality, even CI/CD pipelines, issues. It can pull, push, do everything, right? It can create entire organizations. It can also make your secrets protected and also get user ready too. So this is good, right? And yeah, and the best MCP tools to be used is first the GitHub one, right? And the next one is you can just find out, right? You can just web search. It's maybe a web browser kind of thing, right? There are a lot of, so you will find MCP tools ranking, and you will be able to find, right? uh, like this MCP market, and you will be able to find which are the most popular ones, right? Just for example, this context 7, which fetches latest documentation for every single library and tool you have. Most of the times AI models have old data of LLM, which means old data of if you do the assumption, if the model has been trained in 2025 data, that means it has the only library data up to 2025, and if the next year the library is changed, everything will break. To fix those things, either you have to find out yourself, copy paste the new stuff and give it to the AI, put it to the context, or use the context 7. Why it is named context? Because AI needs context. AI needs what is changed, what is done, everything, and it can do that, right? You can give the tools and it will be able to find out how it can do that, right? This is a Python function, get library docs. It has parameters, so the AI will just write the topic, right, and maximum number of documentation to return to the AI, and then the this function will just return the appropriate markdown file, the data that the AI needs, and that's how every MCP tool works. Okay, so you can find it here. Now, what about skills? What are skills? This is also interesting. Right, you can find a lot of skills here. Skills are just markdown files, nothing. MCP tools also are a Python code but with markdown files, so that AI could know how to use those Python functions. And skills is just simple markdown files which can be used to give it a new context and some things beyond his training, right? For example, if I go to the skills website, this is the main website for skills, and I search design, I'll be able to find out the good design, right, skills, which is from which this is my favorite one, which tells a lot to make the AI use anti-slop front-end skill. I mean, and AI trying to become anti-AI, right? Audits every visible string for AI has hallucination. No hallucination, no stars, no glitters, no and ugly borders, no hover effects, no shadows. I have worked a lot with these things. I know it is very horrible. So you need skills like this. You cannot tell it again and again the same thing, right? And it is pretty long, really long, right? You cannot write it yourself. Do you? Possible. That's why you need these things, and there are a lot, many, right? Depending on what you want to do, right? For example, if you search about Vercel has React best practices, React native skills. If you search mobile, it can have specific mobile skills as well. All right, yeah, front end mobile to get to make it better at mobile, and it will also have some guidelines. Okay, mandatory screen first rule and all sort of things to make it a good design. Okay, so you how to install it? Just run this command. Okay, you open your terminal. Oh god, and you run the command and it will work. Okay, that's how that's the only thing that you will have to do. And then it will ask you whether to install it in project and global, and then it will just install a markdown file here, and then you can just mention that markdown file here. So if I just go here and mention skills, I can mention this, I can mention design trace front end skill, and then I can just ask it to read this completely and uh, begin design, right, like that. I hope you've understood what I'm trying to say. This is just about how to use AI. Now the next one, to use open code. The next one is FreeBuff, which is 5 hours a day free, unlimited, right? The reason is just because they are selling your data to the DeepSeek model, for your AI use and everything. So just be careful whenever you are giving any API keys and any secrets to the AI. Apart from that, it's good, and you can just build anything into it, and you can learn alongside. So it's good. And but the most important thing is, whenever you're doing these things, so whenever you're doing it, whenever you are building with FreeBuff, right? So it happens like this. I don't want to waste my uses, so I will not run it again. I have already done that just a few minutes ago, right? So this is how it does it. So I just run the command of FreeBuff, right? And then it will start, right? And you can see, right, it starts, and and right now it's saying FreeBuff will right run behalf to help you build, like that. Okay, okay, so and then you just press enter and it will work. Okay, and then you just write a command. And the good thing with FreeBuff is that it is very different from open code, or I would say new, I mean, advantage and revolution than open code, that it has an inbuilt lightweight orchestration of models, which is very token efficient than any AI CLI tool I found. Even though it is free, even if it was paid, I would still use this because I like the way things work here. The best thing I like about it is a researcher AI, where, for example, I have asked it to do a comprehensive web research, and it will indeed do research. You can see it is reading the URL because I asked it to generate an Apple design system. Okay, so it is going through all the Apple design websites. It is not trained data, it is not a data based on 2025 data, 2024 or data. It is live data. Anything that changes today, AI will be able to read itself, understand, and do accordingly. And then it is thinking. DeepSeek has an excellent thinking within it. So it is thinking, and then it is building. Okay, so whatever it has built it from scratch, and then it has said what I built. Okay, software engineer portfolio faithfully executed in the Apple design system. Okay, faithfully means he just believes that it is related to the Apple design system, but it cannot be fully done. He also knows that. So let's maybe see what it has done. Right, I build systems that are reliable, fast, reliable. Joy. Yeah, it is decent, right, with a relative Apple design, and but you can see it is clearly visible that it is an AI built website because there are a lot of patterns which are clearly seen to be an AI slope, such as this hovers, and then uh, you can see a lot of ridiculous, like, repeated content, and the same kind of cards, right? This cards is famous. These grids, this shiny hover effects and shadows, right? Complete AI slop. Even though I already use the design taste front end skill, without it, it would have also used emojis, stars, glitters. That it has thankfully yet not used it, right? But why it is so bad, right? Why could not do the best? Even though researching and trying to find out the Apple design, there are a lot of reasons. The first reason is that it doesn't have the context, it doesn't have images, it doesn't have icons, it doesn't have illustrations, it doesn't know, right? A lot of things. Who will make those decisions? We will make, right? We will have to make those decisions. We will have to tell. The imagination, the website is in our mind. This is just a machine, an executor. So let it be. Okay. So you understood that way. And so it has automatically a file picker, planner, editor, reviewer. You will have to experience this yourself. It is great. So I will give you, for example, it has a basher. Basher is a separate I mean, skill based, you can say, sub agent, right? Which has given the command that you are excellent in just running bash commands, and it is just running bash commands. And the another one is, which I like, is a review. I think it also does a review, right? um, it has done it. I'm just not able to find it here. Right, yes, here it is. So this is a code reviewer DeepSeek Flash model. So generally AI models do a lot of things bad. It breaks things, it does a lot of bad things, and that is why this model, DeepSeek Flash code reviewer, helps it to fix the bugs itself. You can see, right, that it is carefully reviewing everything. And the good thing is that it finds the errors itself, resolves it itself, and most of the times it's fine, it's correct, 80 to 90%, 70%. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so we covered a lot of things. Apart from this, the AI which is responsible for automation is NADN. Okay, which is just about connecting some nodes. Okay, if you that is a this is a different way of AI. This AI is about building, right? Using AI to build. And what softwares I told you, open code, freebuff, right? And there's one more, Klein. They are completely free to use. You can build any software with it. What you will need is a free, if you want to build any AI software, right, AI project, you need a free AI API. For a free AI API, you can use Mistral AI API keys, right? You will just find it right from their studio. Okay, you open the studio, and then you find it for here, right? API keys. Okay, and it runs pretty good. It has a very generous rate limit. It is completely free. It runs like 1 second request. Okay, which means one request per second. I'm sorry. Okay, and it's good, right? Apart from this, um, we have one more named as Grook. Grook Cloud API. Okay, this is also very good, right? Okay, I might have logged out, but okay, let me log in 1 second. Okay, so with this you can, if I go to the documentation, you can easily find out that it has a very generous limitation of if you use a normal like model like this, like llama, right? 30 requests per minute. You can easily build any AI project you want, right? Text generation, speech to text, image recognition also, reasoning also, everything is there, right? Image, text to speech, everything is there, so you can just use it and use it wisely. And how you will use it? With an API key. You need an API key. Okay. Similarly, n8n is also like that. It just works on the API keys. You just, you have just nodes. You connect, you start, you write a node, attach one more node, AI, and then it will just ask you what is the system prompt or prompt that is coming as a data from the previous prompt, right? And then it will, with the API key, it will just run it, and then it will pass it to the next. So this is relatively simpler than doing it through code. But as a software engineer, you should also know this. This is the, I think, not very important. This can be learned when it is needed or required as per the project, or work, not specifically, right? Specific to this, this is the most important thing: using AI to build software, because without it, things are pretty slow, and no one has the time to wait today, because if you wait, others are not waiting. So you have to be, you have to catch up with the pace and how things are evolving always. And apart from this, so there were two domains are covered: the domain of using AI in software and the domain of automation, right? API keys and all. The third domain is AI engineer, machine learning engineer, which I don't know much about, but I have still done some practice. So you just have to go to Google Colab, change runtime type to the GPU, and once you start your GPU, you connect it, then you can just see for yourself. There is an easy, right? It will be easy. I will share this Colab repository, Colab file also with the video, and then this is you can also log in with the Hugging Face, which hosts all the models and everything. Okay, and then you just need to install some common libraries that are always used, like transformers and bits and bytes, and then it will be able to scan everything and read the models. And then Hugging Face is very smart, right? Like you can see, from transformers you're getting pipeline, auto model, auto tokenizer. Transformers is the main library which has everything. From the pipeline you can convert you can run a lot of models, like you can see. From the tokenizer, it will convert your text in tokens. What are tokens? It will just, AI doesn't understand words, right? You know that. It understands numbers, so it will just convert it to numbers, and then it will process and return you back. That's just this. So everything that the AI model was running behind the scenes, it is just running here. That's it. So you can generate image using the most simple, smaller models. Google Colab, it will work easily using stable diffusion excellent model. Just ask it to use the open source models. Okay, so it will use open, and in fact today there's Gemini in the Colab itself, so it can be even faster. And there were a lot of things I generated an image in this way as well, right? And I also created a lot of pipelines, right? Like image captioning and all sort of things. I had entered a cat image, and then it said that it's a cat image, and a cat is lying on the steps. So passing, right, from one image to another. Yeah, it's a lot, right? And it's very interesting to see, evaluating model, right? Like trying to find out which model is the best. You can run multiple models. You can see a single request. I have run 4 models. You can also run this 4 models. Okay, so this was all about. I will share this file. This is just about how to use AI in Python. This is the fastest way to get a go through of it. But to get in deeper understanding, instead of watching videos, it's always better to just search, right? uh, from yourself the code, how to do that, and do documentation. Ask ChatGPT rather than watching any video or reading through boring textbooks, right? Just a shorter documentation, blogs always helps. You can just click on this function. I think I was able to go to the function. Maybe I can go here. Okay, I don't remember how to go inside that function. uh, yeah, but anyways, if you have Python in your VS Code, right, you just put this here. You can go in, you have run the code. Now you have the packages installed, and then you can go inside the function, you can read the code, and you can understand it. So that's how things are learned. And also, if you are running any of this code in your local website browser, local VS Code, you can just you can just ask it to do the same. Whatever code is, ask it to run an AI model locally using Olama or anything, and it will be so easy for you to build projects and learn, because you don't have to manually, do everything, copy paste. It will just do everything. It will run it, it will test it, it will fix it, and it will tell you how it is working, what it is working. And then you can just iterate with it, sit with it, and you will learn at a super fast pace. Okay, more faster than anyone. And that is why today I believe you just don't have to feel behind that I don't know anything. You need to start today, right now, anytime you have at the moment, and have that determinist focus that I can do this because I know how to do it, right? It's simple. If you know the path, right, a faster path than anyone else, even though someone else have spent 2 3 years, you can also do the same in 3 months, 6 months, depending how smart you are and how much time you have, right? I'm not that smart, so it took me 2 years, but let's see. Let's see how can you do. And that's it. You have Hugging Face, and you have Python libraries that you just have to use, and what Python functions. You don't have to go into fine tuning a lot of things, because that's not the work of a software engineer that much. That comes in a lot of model training, evaluation, as in machine learning part, which is not used that much, right, often in software, to be honest, right? But you should learn it once you understand how to use MCP skills, AI, how to use AI, different models, right? Basics of everything, and automation. Then you can jump it into it to build projects. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. Don't just learn it without building projects. And anything else? Yes, there are good things to research and find out. There's always leaderboards. I think for LLMs, you can find this. You can go into this website and go here, leaderboard, and you'll find the best models ranked, right? How to make, how to use which one. For example, for chatting, for searching, for example, for web development, which one is the best one? Cloudy Opus is the best one, right? This one is the best one, and you will also find out the rate. What I feel the best one is this DeepSeek V4 Flash High with a score of 1577, and its preliminary scope is based on the pre-release testing, right, and mid test, but uh, you can see the price so cheap, right? So that's how things go, and that's it. That's all, and good luck.